हे रावणाचार्य जय कृष्ण बलराम बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया। भगवत्युत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 21, text number 18, describing the glories of Giri Govardhan. This is a verse which is spoken by Srimati Radharani herself, glorifying Giri Govardhan. Huh? Yeah, but it is Radha. Hmm? Gopis glorify Krishna's flute. Anta ayam adrihi abalaha haridasavarya. Hantayam adri abala haridasya varya. Yat Ramakrishna charana sparasha pramodaha. Yad Ramakrishna charana sparasha pramodaha. Manam tanoti saha go ganayoho tayoho. Yat manam tanoti saha go ganayostayoryat. Paniya Suyavasa Kandara Kandamulaihi. Paniya Suyavasa Kandara Kandamulaihi. Hantaya Madri Rabala Haridasa Varyo. यद् रामकृष्णचरणस्पर्श प्रमोदः मानं तनोति सह गो गणयोस्तयोर्यात् पानीयसूयवसकन्दरकन्दमूलै हन्ताय मद्रिरबला हरिदासवर्यो यद् रामकृष्णचरणस्पर्श प्रमोदः मानं तनोति सह गो गणयोस्तयोर्यात् पानीयसूयवसकन्दरकन्दमूलै Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Bhagavatam Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. How fortunate is this Govardhan hill, for it is enjoying the association of Lord Krishna and Balaram, who are accustomed to walking on it. Thus Govardhan is always in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord. And because Govardhan hill is so obliged to Lord Krishna and Balaram, it is supplying different kinds of fruits, roots and herbs, as well as very pleasing crystal water from its lakes, in presentation to the Lord. The best presentation offered by Govardhan hill, however, is newly grown grass for the cows and calves. Govardhan hill knows how to please the Lord by pleasing his most beloved associates, the cows and the cowherd boys. And please repeat the translation. How fortunate is this Govardhan hill, for it is enjoying the association of Lord Krishna and Balarama, who are accustomed to walking on it. Thus Govardhana is always in touch with the lotus feet of the Lord. And because Govardhan hill is so obliged to Lord Krishna and Balarama, it is supplying different kinds of fruits, roots and herbs, as well as very pleasing crystal water from its lakes in presentation to the Lord. The best presentation offered by Govardhan hill, however, is newly grown grass for the cows and calves. Govardhan hill knows how to please the Lord by pleasing his most beloved associates, the cows and the cowherd boys. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshunumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, so here the glories of Govardhan Hill is described. It is said that Adrir Haridasya Varya Hantayam Adrir Abala Haridasa Varya. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan Hill, Haridasa Varya, is the best of the devotees. Abala, O friends. Why it is the best of all the devotees? Because Sahago Ganayos Tayoho. It offers Sahago Ganayo Tayoho. So it offers to the cows, calves, cowherd boys, and Krishna and Balaram. What does it offer? This Govardhan Hill. Paniya. Paniya means water, cool water for them to drink. Then Suyavasa. Very soft grass for the cows. And Kandara. Caves for the cows, calves, and Krishna and Balaram to take rest. And Kandamulai, it also offers edible roots and vegetables, fruits, flowers for the pleasure of the cows, calves, and Krishna and Balaram and the Gopabalas. Manam Tanoti, in this way, Govardhan offers his respect to Krishna, Balaram, and everyone. Then, Yad Ramakrishna Charana Sparsha Pramodaha. This Govardhan appears to be very jubilant, Pramodaha, because Yad Ramakrishna Charana Sparasha, because he is being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram. Therefore, he appears very jubilant. So, Prabhupada explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Madhya Leela, chapter 18, text 34, commenting from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur about the opulence of Govardhan Hill in this way. Paniya, Govardhan is offering cool waters from his waterfalls, which Krishna and Balaram used to drink, and they also used to use these waters to wash their feet and mouths. And this Pani also refers that this Govardhan offers very nice beverages, including honey, mango juice, and juice from the pilu fruit. Then Suryavasa, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Suryavasa indicates Durva grass, which is meant for offering in sacrifices, meant for offering in Argya. And it also refers to fragrant grasses, soft and conducive for the cows to consume and deliver very fragrant milk. And by consuming this grass, the cow's milk production increases. So thus this grass from the Govardhan is used to feed the transcendental herds of Lord Krishna. Then Kandara, the caves being referred here, which is glorified, during the hot season, summer season, Krishna Balaram, the cows and the cows used to take shelter in the caves of Govardhan, keeping themselves comfortable. And even in the winter season, when it is too cold in Vrindavan, again they would take shelter in the caves of Govardhan. And when it is raining also, they would take shelter in the caves of Govardhan. So in this way, the caves of Govardhan was offering great help. Then Kandamulaihi, this Govardhan hill, is also offering soft roots for eating by the cows. And Govardhan also is producing jewels for ornamenting the body and flat places for sitting. And Govardhan also has lamps and mirrors in the form of smooth stones, glistening water, and other natural substances. So, in this way, Govardhan's glories are unlimited. There is one more verse from Upadeshamrita by Shri Rupa Goswami, which is a very famous verse and an important verse which devotees generally chant. We will try to chant this verse also and then discuss about Govardhana glories further. You can please repeat after me. This is a verse from Upadeshamrita, text number 9. Vaikuntaj janitaha vara madhupuri tatra api rasa utsavan Vaikunta janito vara madhupuri tatra pirasotsavan Vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatra api govardhanaha Vrindaranyam udarapani ramanat tatrapi govardhanaha Radha kundam iha api gokulapatehe prema amrita aplavanat Radha kundam iha api gokulapate prema amrita plavanat kuryat asya virajataha giritate sevam viveki na kaha kuryadasya virajato giritate sevam viveki na kaha. So in this verse, Rupa Goswami is glorifying Govardhana hill in this way, and even Mathura Puri and Radha Kund. So here he is saying that Vaikuntha Janito Vara Madhupuri. Here Madhupuri refers to Mathura Dham. So Vaikuntha, superior, of course, Prabhupada used the word spiritually superior to Vaikuntha Loka is the land of Mathura. Because Janitaha, Lord Krishna appeared in Mathura. Therefore, this land has become spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. Tatrapi Rasotsavat Vrindaranyam Udarapani Ramanat. Vrindaranyam. But superior to Mathura Puri is Vrindavana because Tatrapi Rasotsavat, Krishna performed his Rasalila pastimes. Then Udarapani Ramana Tatra Api Govardhanaha. Tatra Api, and even superior to the forest of Vrindavana is Govardhan. because Udara Pani Ramanat, Krishna performed many divine pastimes in this forest of, in this land of Govardhan, in this Govardhan hill. And also Krishna personally raised this Govardhan hill with his hand, with his little finger. So it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, and it was also the site of his various loving pastimes. Of course, Rupa Goswami continues, Radha Kundam Ihapi Gokulapate Premamrita Aplavanat. But uh, above all, the super excellent Radha Kund stands supreme because it is Aplavanat, overflooded with Prema Amrita, with the ambrosial nectarian prema of Lord of Gokula, Gokulapate, Sri Krishna. So because it is overflooded with the uh, nectarian prema of Lord Krishna, therefore this Radha Kund is become super excellent. So therefore Rupa Goswami is saying, Kuryad asya virajata giritate sevam vivekina kaha. Vivekina kaha. Who is that intelligent person who virajata giritate, does not want to reside on the foothills of Govardhan at Radhakund and sevam, offer his service to this Radhakund. So in other words, no person with transcendental intelligence will deny this opportunity of seva to Radhakund, residing in Radhakund, which is situated on the foothills of Govardhan. So this is another glorification of uh, Govardhan and Radhakunda. It is described in the Garga Samhita about this origin of Govardhan hill coming to Vrindavana, making his divine appearance in Vrindavana. It is said that once Pulastya Muni had been to Shalmala Dvipa. It's one of the Dvipas, where in Jambu Dvipa there are 7 Dvipas, and Shalmala Dvipa is one of the Dvipas. So this originally Govardhan was in Shalmala Dvipa. Govardhan was the son of Dronachala. His father's name is Dronachala, who is also another mountain. The Jiva assuming the mountain form. So Giri Govardhan is said to be the king of all the mountains. So Dronachala was the father of Govardhan. So once Pulastya Muni came to Shalmala Dvipa and he saw he could behold personally the beauty of Govardhan. And he was very uh, impressed by the beauty of Govardhan. Then a desire aroused in him. He thought that in Kashi there are no many hills. So if I can take this Govardhan to Kashi, then I can sit on Govardhan hill and meditate very nicely. So thinking like that, he requested Dronachala, the father of Govardhan, to kindly deliver his son Govardhan to him so that he can take him to Kashi. But Dronachala was unwilling because Govardhana was his life and soul. So attached to Govardhan, he could not think of uh, parting away from Govardhan. But then Govardhan thought that if I don't go, this Pulastya Muni will become angry and he will curse. So better go. So he told his father, somehow he convinced his father, so better let me go. So then father finally consented. But Govardhan said, on one condition, I will come with you. He said that you should not stop me or place me down anywhere. So then I will come. So Pulastya Muni agreed, and then he assumed a huge magnanimous form. The rishis have great mystic powers. They can assume not only gigantic form, they can assume any form of their choice. All these siddhis are possible. So Pulistimni assumed a huge form and lifted Govardhana with his hand and was flying in space from Shalmana Dvipa, another Dvipa, to Jambu Dvipa, and then to Bharatavarsha. And then he was on the way to Kashi, but en route, Vrajamandal, Vrindavan Dham. So somehow, of course, the Shastras described by the will of providence, he wanted to attend nature's call, and therefore he just placed Govardhan, although he knew that he has promised Govardhan that he would not place him down anywhere before he reaches Kashi. But then what to do? So he had to attend nature's call. So he went, and by the time he came back, Govardhan took this as opportunity because he knew that in the future Lord Krishna will come and I will get the great fortune of being touched by the transcendental hands of Lord Krishna, and he wants to be of great seva to Lord Krishna in assisting Lord Krishna in his pastimes. That's why we see Govardhan has become the house of many of Krishna's pastimes. Many wonderful leelas of Krishna and Krishna's devotees took place around Govardhan. So Govardhan, not wanting to miss all these special blessings and fortune, so he decided to not go with Pulistimuni. Anyway, Pulistimuni has broken his promise. So when Pulistimuni came back, Govardhan became very heavy. So much so that Pulistimuni could not lift him. So then Pulistimuni said, "Why are you not coming?" So he said, "You have broken your promise, so I will not come." But he didn't tell the actual reason anyway. He went by the external reason. What Pulistimuni had given a word, he had broken his word. So therefore, Govardhan also does not want to come. So Pulistimuni became very upset on this. Anyway, so uh, therefore Pulistimuni meted out a curse to Govardhan. He said, "Oh, you are not listening to me? So you would go inside the earth the size of a mustard seed every year. Therefore, it is said that by the end of Kali Yuga, Govardhan will disappear into the earth." So now we have the fortune of going to Vrindavan and having darshan of Govardhan. So early the better. So originally Govardhan, in its originally when he appeared, uh, the length of Govardhana hill was 115 kilometers, and the width of Govardhana was 72 kilometers, and the height of Govardhan was 29 kilometers. Today you can see the highest peak of Himalayan mountain is just 8.8 kilometers, that's all. But Govardhan's height was 29 kilometers. It was actually touching clouds. So this Govardhana hill is located about 25 kilometers west of Mathura. But today, unfortunately, Govardhana at its peak, it's only 25 to 30 meters high. That's all. And the entire Parikram marg, earlier it was 115 by 72 kilometers, Parikram if you had to do. But now it is only about 24 to 25 kilometers. That's all. It has reduced in its size. So this Krishna lifting the Govardhana hill pastime happened just after Krishna blessed the wives of the Brahmanas. We know the pastime where when Lord Krishna and Balaram, this pastime of Krishna blessing the wives of the Brahmanas happened just after Krishna's pastime of Gopi Vastra Apaharan. Krishna blessing the gopis by becoming their husband. So then Krishna and Balaram went little far away from the place where Krishna granted the wish of the gopis to have Krishna as their husband. So then Krishna and Balaram and the Gopas became hungry. Actually, Gopas told Krishna and Balaram that they're feeling very hungry, although they were not hungry, but they thought that Krishna and Balaram should be fed nicely on time. So therefore, they thought that they made a plea to Krishna saying that Krishna, we are feeling very hungry, so that actually Krishna can be fed and Balaram can be fed. That was their idea. So Krishna and Balaram said, okay, nearby uh, the Brahmins are performing some Vedic sacrifice, and they must have prepared a lot of yajna bhoga. So you can please ask them. It's a very long story. I'm not going to describe that now. So then when they go to the Brahmanas said to the Gopas, you foolish boys, these offerings are meant for Lord Vishnu. So it is even offensive to ask for some cowherd boy. So they become, of course, then the Gopas describe um, that this offerings which the Brahmanas' wives have prepared can be given at this point of time. Because in Vedic procedures, there are some uh, rules and standards, and after a certain point of chanting mantras and ritual, that bhoga which is cooked cannot be used for any other purpose. There's a certain indication in the procedures. So the Gopas knew that. And then they said, no, no, that point has still not come. Therefore, this is not being, the Sankalpa is not being done for being offered in sacrifice, so you can deliver this to us. They said, you're all foolish boys, so you don't tell anything, please go away from here. So then they became very sorry and then they came to Krishna. Then Krishna said, don't worry, you go to the wives of the Brahmanas because they are my great devotees. They will deliver you immediately everything. Then, so they go to the wives of the Brahmanas and these wives of the Brahmanas become very, very glad to offer Krishna and Balaram everything. In fact, they said they were very intelligent. They didn't deliver all these items meant for the Vedic sacrifice to the Gopas. They said, we ourselves will bring them so that they can get the fortune of having darshan of Krishna and Balaram and personally feeding Krishna and Balaram. So they were quite, they said, we will also come. We will only bring all these items. Why should you take the trouble? So they personally come carry all items with at the risk of being condemned and rejected by their husbands. And they didn't even inform their husbands that they're going to take away these offerings meant for the yajna for Krishna and Balaram. They didn't even bother to tell them. They took all the risk. So they come and then they offer Krishna and Balaram and then they become very, very glad. And because of their devotion, their husbands also became blessed. How? That gives the introduction to this Govardhan Leela. So Krishna, in order to bless not only the wives of the Brahmanas, even to bless their husbands, Krishna performed this Govardhan Leela in the same village where this pastime took place, where Krishna blessing the wives of the Brahmanas and where Krishna and Balaram accepted the offerings of the Yagna Bhoga cooked by the wives of the Brahmanas. So this is one reason why Krishna and Balaram stayed there. So in the very same place, Nanda Maharaj was getting ready with the other cowherd men of Vrindavan to perform a sacrifice. So at this point, Krishna asks Nanda Maharaj, although he was a small boy, just 7 years old, he asked Nanda Maharaj, my dear father, what is all this elaborate arrangement going on? And what are we getting ready for? And what are these offerings for? What is the purpose? What is the benefit? Is it as per Shastra or it is just customary that you are trying to perform this yajna? And for whom is this yajna intended? So then Nanda Maharaj said, that actually, uh, my dear son, this yajna is meant for pleasing Indra. And as far as whether it is as per scriptural injunction or is it only a tradition or a custom, he said it is only customary, it is not as per scriptural injunction. That he frankly admitted. But then he went on to say that because we are Vaishyas, we are very much dependent on rains. uh, Because our entire economy is based on agriculture and cows produces. So we require grains and we also require soft grass for the cows to feed on so that the cow can give milk and we can trade with the milk products. And so we require cows' welfare and we require the agricultural fields to be fertile for which we require rains. So rains are dependent on Indra, was what Nanda Maharaj's argument was. So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Lord Krishna brings about 6 arguments to Nanda Maharaj in trying to divert Indra Puja to Govardhana Puja and try to divert all the offerings meant for Indra for the Indra Puja to Giri Govardhan. Actually, Krishna had many other purposes why he did this, because Indra became very puffed up with his false pride that he was so powerful, he was a controller of rains, and all the living beings on the earth, including devotees of Krishna, are dependent on his rains. So he became puffed up. So Krishna wanted to cut down his pride. So therefore, so Krishna wanted to purposely divert all the offerings meant for Indra and the worship meant for Indra for Govardhana. And Krishna also want to make Indra understand that the power which Indra is endowed with is actually the grace of Krishna and the kindness and mercy of Krishna. So Indra should not forget that. So that was the idea. So Krishna used many arguments to Nanda Maharaj to divert this the whole attention of the Brajavasis, the cowherd men, towards worshipping Govardhan. So what are the arguments? Number one, Vishwanath Thakur's, I'm sorry, Sridhar Swami says that karma alone is sufficient to determine one's destiny. You are saying that Indra is supplying rains and you are dependent on Indra for rains, therefore you have to please Indra, therefore you have to worship Indra. But Krishna is arguing, no, karma alone is sufficient to which determines one's destiny. That means your happiness, distress, your opulence, whether you will get your supplies or not, you will be rich or not, all these things are dependent on your karma, not on Indra. So why you have to worship Indra? It's one reason. Second reason, that one's conditioned nature is the supreme controller. We have our nature and we act as per our nature, not as per Indra's dictation. So you are Vaishyas, you are worshipping, you are having your nature as a Vaishya, which is uh, ordained by the Lord. Hmm? Once acquired nature, you have an acquired nature as a Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra. And there's a specific occupation for each Varna. And that is designed by the Lord, not by Indra. So Krishna is using an argument here that one's conditioned nature is the supreme controller. So basically he's trying to divert their recognition of Indra and Indra's power and position. Why are you thinking Indra is powerful? You have your own nature and Indra also cannot change your nature. So therefore your one's conditioned nature is the supreme controller, not Indra. The modes of nature are the supreme controllers, another presentation by Krishna. So it is not Indra who is controlling things in this world. There's a modes of nature. They're the supreme controller. Hmm? Then one more argument Krishna presented is the Supreme Lord is simply dependent on the aspect of karma. If, of course, Krishna used an atheistic argument just to joke. So even if one argues that God is there to sanction one's efforts, but you should perform your work for God to sanction. If you don't perform your work, then even God cannot sanction anything. Then even the Lord is under the control of karma. Even if he has to sanction, he has to go through your karma only. So why are you depending on Indra? Above Indra also there is a Supreme Lord. Even he has to go through the performance of your karma. Therefore, Krishna concludes, your karma is actually worshipable, not Indra. Because ultimately by performing your karma, you are getting all the things. Even God cannot do anything. What can Indra do? Therefore, uh, you don't have to worry much about Indra. So this is how Krishna diverted their attention from worshipping Indra. So then, um, Krishna is saying that this karma, which is supremely worshipable, is born of one's own nature, which he had referred earlier. And Brahmana's karma is studying Vedas. Kshatriya's karma is protecting the earth. Vaishya's karma is trade. Shudra's karma is to serve the higher classes. So we are Vaishyas. Therefore, we are meant for cow protection and agriculture. So then, Krishna is explaining that anyway, we are dependent on agricultural produces. But Krishna is explaining to Nanda Maharaj that actually there is a automatic cycle being created in nature. Rains are coming, and the rains are effect of mode of passion. And the mode of passion drives the rains to create clouds and downpour water. Where is Indra's role here? So don't worry about Indra. Forget him. So who needs great Indra? We don't require Indra because rains are sent by clouds which are impelled by the mode of passion. So they are actually producing the food. So like that Krishna diverted their attention. Then Krishna said, actually, our home is not in the cities or towns. We dwell in forest, and we always live in forest and on the hills. Then he said that this Vrindavan also is a forest, and we're living in this forest. And one should recognize one's relationship with this Vrindavan forest, and in particular one's relationship with Govardhan, because all our needs, the needs of cows, calves, peacocks, monkeys, everyone's need, including the cows and calves, all the needs are produced and supplied by Govardhan. So therefore, actually, we should worship Govardhan, not Indra. Hmm? So we should perform a sacrifice. So Krishna actually designed a sacrifice for Govardhan at this point of time. And he himself listed out what all to be done in this sacrifice. So this was the origin of sacrifice for Govardhan in the form of Annakuta. So Krishna explained what all to be done in the sacrifice, how the sacrifice has to be offered to Govardhan. So he said that there must be a sacrifice for the pleasure of cows, brahmanas, and Govardhan hill. And uh, let us cook all kinds of food, from sweet rice to vegetable soups, and many kinds of fancy cakes, both baked and fried, and a lot of milk products, and they all should be offered to brahmanas, cowherd boys. Then after that, you should also feed the cows and the calves with nice soft grass, and feed even the priests who have come for performing the sacrifice. So like this, after feeding all the brahmanas, the cowherd boys, and even the cows and the calves. Then you should even feed the dogs and even the dog eaters with nice food. And then you may present your offerings to Govardhan Hill. And then he said, you should decorate yourself very nicely with nice jewelry, nice dress, to create a festival mood. And smear your bodies with sandalwood paste and circumambulate Govardhan Hill, along with the cows, including the Brahmanas. Even the Brahmanas should circumambulate to Govardhan Hill. So that was also the origin of going Govardhan Parikram. So the Govardhan Puja origin, the Govardhan Parikram origin began in this way. So then, uh, in order to convince further the importance of Govardhan Puja, Krishna said, this Govardhan hill is myself and is the best of my devotees. So you better offer all what you have to this Govardhan hill and be blessed by Govardhan hill. So in order to convince the Nanda Maharaj and the cowherd men and the woman that this Govardhana is the Lord himself, actually Krishna assumed a form, expanded himself and assumed a mighty form to accept the offerings which was kept for Govardhan, and also to indicate that this Govardhana is myself. So, um, and he declared after assuming a gigantic form, I am Govardhan mountain, and he ate all the offerings. So actually Govardhana is Krishna himself, Krishna's expansion, and also a great devotee of Krishna simultaneously. So in this way, Krishna initiated this Govardhana Puja and Annakuta ceremony, and Krishna said that if someone does not worship Govardhana and offer wonderful palatable foodstuffs to Govardhana, then actually Krishna said that the snakes in Govardhan will actually bite them. So so at this point of time, Indra became very upset that all the offerings have been diverted and the puja is being stopped. The puja which is meant for him is stopped and being diverted to Govardhan. So Indra sends torrential rains for 7 days and 7 nights, calling Samarthaka cloud, which can inundate the whole earth. If it can inundate the whole earth, then what to speak of the small land of Vrindavan? It is very easy for Samarthaka cloud. But Krishna called Samharini his devotee potency and ensured that the water will not disturb the devotees of Vrindavana. So Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill in order to protect the Vrindavan devotees from the torrential rains sent by Indra, and Krishna called all of them to come and take shelter underneath the Govardhan hill. And as the water was coming towards Govardhan hill, they would dry up by the effect of Samharini potency of the Lord. So in this way, uh, 7 days and 7 nights, Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, and uh, actually all the devotees of Krishna got an opportunity to stay together with Lord Krishna, and they felt transcendental bliss simply by seeing the face of Lord Krishna day and night. And the acharyas have explained that because of seeing Krishna's face, transcendental face, personally, day and night, they could overcome hunger, sleep, thirst, everything for 7 days and 7 nights. So in this way, Krishna performed this wonderful lila and protected the Vrindavan devotees, and at the same time gave opportunity for the Vrindavan devotees to stay together and have darshan and transcendental enjoyment in seeing Krishna's lotus face, and also cut down Indra's pride simultaneously. Then Indra realized after 7 days that nobody can take this torrential rain and overcome, counteract this torrential rains except my Lord. Then when he realized that, he comes down and then offers his prayers and begs pardon. and he comes with Airavata and offers Ganga water and does Abhishek of Lord Krishna and begs his pardon, and Krishna pardons him. So this is the whole Govardhan Leela. So thereby Krishna is indicating that one need not worship any demigod, because every demigod is empowered by the Lord and positioned by the Lord. Therefore, there is no need to have separate demigod worship. If one has come to the point of worshipping Vishnu, then Krishna, then there is no need of separate worship of the devatas, because they are actually positioned, given that position of controllership by the Lord. Therefore, there is no need to worship them separately. In fact, on the other hand, Krishna is recommending here worship of his devotee Govardhan Hill, because worship of the devotee is always more beneficial. Hmm? In fact, worship of the devotee is more beneficial than worship of the Lord also. And what to speak of worshipping devatas. So there is no need to worship devatas. There's another message Krishna is indicating from this Govardhan pastime. Stop here. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, शिल प्रभुपाद की जय.